Hi and welcome to episode 115 of the This is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law. I am the founder of this Reportage and this Reportage family, and I'm a photographer too. Excited to have the fab Jennifer Schäufelin on the podcast this week. Recently coming 17th in the world on this Reportage family for 2021, Jennifer is a brilliant documentary family photographer and was the German Storyteller of the Year for 2021 as well. She shares so much on the episode today, including transitioning from employment to full-time photographer, the stories behind a couple of her Reportage Family Awards, our Netflix synopsis game, her thoughts and tips for submitting to our Story Awards, why she recorded a specific long portrait video on her About Me page, Instagram Reels, and much, much more too. Just before we get on to Jennifer, just a little heads up that at the time of this episode's release, there's just 4 days left to enter our next awards. The deadline is the same for both our family site and our wedding site. Submit by 23:59 BST on the 24th of July 2022. All the best if you're submitting. Right, over to Jennifer. Hey Jennifer, how you doing?
Hi Alan, thanks for having me. I'm doing fine.
Oh great, good to hear. Thanks for coming on and really lovely to hear your voice.
Yeah, it's a funny situation, Alan, because it feels like I know you, but you don't know me, really. So,
from hearing some of the podcasts.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I love your podcast, so it's...
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but now you get to know me, hopefully, in the next
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm not going to talk much at all. It's all going to be you, Jennifer, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, interesting situation because it's totally out of my comfort zone, but I heard that that's where the magic happens.
That's where that's good. It's a good way to live your life like that. It's a scary way to live your life, but yeah, I guess that's true. I still get nervous for every podcast episode. I really do. It's
but you I don't hear this.
Oh really? Oh,
like you can tell. Yeah.
Oh. Well, you don't sound nervous either, though.
Yeah, I'm good at pretending, maybe, just in this situation.
Oh yeah. No. And how are things with you at the moment? And let's do it. Let's ask about the weather, Alan. Be very British here. You're in Germany, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In Bavaria.
Very nice. Okay.
And currently it's raining.
Is it?
Yeah, and it's currently confusing because it's so hot, and then
But raining. Is it really warm? What kind of temperature?
Nah, it's like today when it's raining, it's not that warm, but it was yesterday, and it's like every other day. It's so different that I get a headache from all those weather changes. Oh
yeah, the kind of change in pressure and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
That sucks. That sounds like a British summer. It's like sunny one day and then chucking it down the next minute. It's but it's very sunny here at the moment in Cornwall, in England. Actually, it's very nice.
Oh, yeah.
So whereabouts where in Bavaria are you?
In Herzogenaurach, this is close to Nuremberg, and Nuremberg is close to Munich in this area. Okay.
Lovely. Cool.
I think it's 2 hours to Munich.
Oh, is it? So okay, not that near, but See, I've been to Munich for a couple of weeks. I did work experience there when I was 17. I loved it. Do you go to Munich much?
From time to time, for a little vacation, little weekend trips or so, but more into the mountains then. Like we were just having a 1 week vacation with the kids on a farm somewhere on the mountains. Yeah, in Bavaria. Lovely. Yeah, it was really relaxing.
Oh, that sounds super nice. Were you camping like in tents or?
No, it was Bauernhof. Like it's a farm, where they have horses and cows and cats and pigs, all those animals, which is awesome for the kids.
Oh yeah, and for the adults. It's good for the adults.
Yeah, it's funny, really. I saw a birth of a cow, like a baby cow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what was it? Did you photograph it?
No, I didn't have the camera with me at that moment. But,
wow, what was that like to witness though? Was it gruesome? Because I've seen it on TV programs, and it always looks very kind of, I don't know. I'm quite squeamish though, actually. So I don't know.
Yeah, it is. But now that having the birth photography background now, it's somehow different to watch it. I don't know. It's I wish I had the camera with me. Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's
last
cool.
year there was a birth of a cow baby. What's the word? Calf? Is
Oh,
it?
calf. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Calf, yeah. And that's where I took some pictures of the birth. That was, yeah, special.
Of the calf, of another baby cow.
Yeah. Last year we were also, we had a kind of the same vacation and experienced the same event.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Do they stand up quite? Do they walk quite quickly?
Yeah, and it's so like after a few minutes they try to stand up already. Of course they fall a few times, but yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. And did your kids, did they experience it this time? Did they see the...
No, they were in bed already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, it sounds a lovely holiday though. That sounds really nice.
It was. Yeah.
How do you, by the way, I have to ask, how do you speak English so well? Because you speak English so well. How?
Yeah, I started working at Adidas in 2014, and they're the company language. Like at work, I had to talk English every day.
Really? You had to speak English?
Yeah.
What, even though your job was actually in Germany still?
It was in the middle of Bavaria. Yeah, and but the whole campus, everybody talks English.
Wow, gosh. And did you know much English before starting that job?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't even know how I got the job, because in the with my boss back then, we had he was from what's the word? Or what's the city? Yeah, from the US. My boss was from the US and Portland. He lived in Portland, and we had this phone call, like online phone call, and I was so nervous, really. And he asked me questions in his super American slang. I don't know what I answered back then, but it
must have been impressive.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow, that's cool.
I wasn't really what's the word? Right there in the moment. Like after that, like when I hung up, I was thinking, what did I just say? But they got back to me and said, yeah, you can have the job, and I was so happy. And then it went quite fast that you learn English, and when you talk English at work every day.
Yes, I bet that must be such a great way to learn, actually, if you kind of need to be doing it on the job.
Yeah.
Were you literally not allowed to speak German, or do they just persuade you?
No. You can, of course, you are allowed.
Okay.
But as Adidas is a very diverse company, I would say. So there are people from all over the world there. So yeah, they decided, or it makes a lot of sense that English is the company language.
That's
or
interesting.
The corporate language.
Gosh, I think I'm so naive. I didn't know that happened at all. And it must happen in quite a lot of places, actually. But yeah. Well,
yeah, I think the big brands also. Am I allowed to name brands?
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah. Because right next to Adidas there is the Puma campus, and that they do the same. Like they also speak.
Oh, right. That's interesting. So you learn new things on this podcast that you never, nothing to do with photography, but I love that.
Yeah.
And Jennifer, your job with, is it Adidas or Adidas? That's a good question, isn't it? You should know that. That's what is it?
Yeah, I think it's Adidas, because it's from Adi Dassler. That's what, like the founder, Adi Dassler. Yeah, so Adidas. But I experienced at the beginning, I was a bit confused when I started at Adidas, that some of the US coworkers, like teammates, or they said Adidas, and I found it so weird. But yeah,
and that's funny.
I find myself sometimes saying Adidas too. But,
that's another great thing that people have learnt on this, because I remember as a kid not knowing if it was Adidas or Adidas, and now we know that. Yeah. That's great.
So both is correct.
Both is correct. Okay, that's good. That's a good politician answer as well. That's good. So Jennifer as well, because that job, I think, am I right in thinking you quite recently made the decision to kind of try out being fully self-employed, with your photography? Yes. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that kind of transition then, and why you chose to try out being fully self-employed, and how you got into photography, and your kind of journey to this point now. How it's all going?
Yeah. When I got that job at Adidas, it was a perfect job for me, really a dream job, because it combined my design background, because I studied communication design.
Okay.
And photography, because I was in the employer branding team, and my part was to document the behind the scenes at Adidas, like all the employees, and when there were events on the campus, or
Oh, that sounds good. It's so in a proper documentary kind of way.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, I did it in the documentary way, the photography, then at Adidas, but I didn't know that that's the name of my kind of way to photograph, I always said, it's not staged, but I didn't know the real name for that. It's documentary photography. So I kept taking photos, and it was really a nice job. But then more and more I found out about documentary family photography, and also I was very keen on starting with birth photography. So after a while, this documentary photography took over, like, my heart and my passion, and then there was somehow a disbalance. So I tried to manage both. After having my kids, I got back to Adidas only 20 hours per week, and the rest of the time was photography, and tried to start building up the business. And
it must have been hard to be still doing 20 hours a week though, and doing photography. Sounds tough.
And it was Monday to Wednesday I worked at Adidas, and then there is only Thursday and Friday left. And then having kids, and then COVID, then the kids are sick at home, so I worked at night just to work a little bit on my photography and to get shit done. But it was so slow and hard on me, like my whole family. It was so hard for everyone. I had not enough sleep, and I really felt like the last half year, or the last year, that it's too much doing both. Because also the mental load, you think of, you have those two buckets in your head, like your main job bucket and then the photography bucket, and then you mix things up. It's incredible exhausting.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Definitely. It's stressful enough doing one job, let alone two jobs.
Exactly. Yeah. And at some point I thought, Jenny, what are you doing? It's and then I don't want to say I lost the passion for the Adidas job, but the passion grew for the photography job. It gave me so much. It gave me a higher purpose to work with families, to empower women, and also the birth photography then somehow started at the same time. And this then was not, I couldn't manage both anymore.
Was it scary to decide to kind of put a stop to your Adidas job?
Yeah, totally. Because you have this safe income and an awesome environment with Adidas as an employer, to be honest. Like thinking, should I really leave this safe space and dive into this maybe at some point insecure, or this new world of the photography part? And I'm still trying, I did not quit my job at Adidas. I took additional parental leave.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool that you're allowed to do that. That's nice.
Yeah. I have another 18 months parental leave now to try this.
Wow, that's a good amount of time, isn't it? That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in Germany,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, in Germany you have for each kid, I think, 3 years. I'm not sure.
Right, and you can just take that at any time whilst they're of a certain age or something, is it?
Until they are 8, I think.
Oh wow! And so your employers have to keep your job open during that time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Wow, that's really cool. I don't think that exists in the UK. So
that's why that's currently quite a good position I'm in, and
that's awesome.
let's see where this is going to.
Yeah, and how's it going since you? So when was your? Has it been a few months now since you worked in Adidas, or has it been? A few months.
It's I think it's now the 3rd month.
Cool. And how's it going?
It's a lot of organizational stuff, like working on my pricing and my website, and promoting myself.
Have you enjoyed it though? Have you been able to? Because I know a lot of people, and myself included, when you've gone from a kind of regimented 9-to-5 job to suddenly just working for yourself, it can be sometimes quite hard to get work done. When you don't have that kind of, the hour by hour things that you have to have done. You have to have your self motivation. How has that been working?
You mean like structuring your everyday? Currently I'm so enthusiastic and happy about it that it's almost hard for me to stop in the evening. Picking up the kids and thinking, no, now it's family time. Enjoy it. You have to take your rest, and you have to sleep and eat, and but it's also dangerous,
passion, dangerous in what way? That you just do kind of just focus too much on the
and I feel that also currently that I'm doing still too much, even though I left the Adidas job currently. But
it's funny, isn't it? And my wife has actually been going through something very similar. So she's a speech therapist and was working for the NHS for a long time, but in February she quit her job and now is just self-employed. And one of the reasons for quitting, though, is that she was supposed to be working less and enjoying life more, but she's working more now. She's working more. It's
exactly. Isn't that funny? Yeah. But my plan is now, also because I want to take care of myself a little bit more and focus more on myself and my health, that I do less jobs, or regulate this maybe with my pricing also, I don't know, to have less jobs but more time for me and my health and taking care of myself, because I realized in the last few weeks and months that my body changed so much in a not healthy way. So I realized that I need to focus more on myself.
Right. That makes sense. It's just so important, isn't it? It's so important. And just enjoying life and not working all the time is so important, I think. I know it's quite easy to say as a thing, but it is so important because we're here just once on this planet, and
exactly, Alan, I still find it I talk about this with my husband a lot, like how crazy our society is, or our system, that we are supposed to work 40 hours a week. It's how should you cover this and family and your kids and your partnership? How should all of this work? And you should do sports and eat healthy or cook healthy. How?
That's so true.
That's why we both reduced hours in our work, because we realized it's not good.
Oh, well, that's good that you're both on the same page that way as well, and how you view life. That's cool. Was he supportive of you, stopping your Adidas job for a while then and pursuing the photography?
Yeah, totally. And he's my biggest fan. So
that's
he
cool.
said, this will go in a good direction. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. I think it's really important to have that kind of support as well, though.
Totally.
And we're lucky to have that. I was the same when I stopped my job. My partner was fully behind me, and it makes a big deal to have that behind us. I think it's cool.
Definitely. It's so important, because when you have to fight those fights, maybe, then it's an additional
someone in your corner.
Stress.
Yeah, that's true. You mentioned whilst you were doing your Adidas job as well that you kind of began birth photography. How did that happen for you? How did you shoot your first birth?
Yeah, it was actually like the whole journey to the birth photography was a very long journey, and I think 10 years ago, a friend of mine who was living in the US, she gave birth to her first child and shared some images of the process with me. And there was one image that did not really show that it was about a birth going on. It showed just her and her husband bending over a bench, and they were really close to each other and very focused. And you could tell that they were praying, and this was so intimate, and I felt like I was with them. And cool. I would say that moment 10 years ago planted the seed in my head that this is exactly what I wanted to do.
Oh, wow.
Capturing those intense and intimate moments between human beings. But 10 years ago, I was looking for the topic of birth photography in Germany, but every time when I talked about it, people looked very confused, like, are you crazy? Like,
oh, really? Yeah.
Who wants that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally not. So I forgot about it a little bit. But then I became pregnant, and I totally wanted to have a birth photographer with me. Okay. But both hospitals did not allow more than one additional person in the room with me.
Oh,
so,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
I preferred my husband to be with me.
Yeah, I understand that.
But I'm still really sad that this was for me never an option, unfortunately. And I wish I had those images.
Yeah.
And then during my second child's parental leave, I in general started hearing about documentary family photography, and I totally fell in love with this genre. And I booked Chiara Doveri for a day in the life reportage at my home, and I found out that she offers a birth photography workshop together with Marcia Friese. So I took that chance, and I thought, I'm gonna spend that money now for me and for myself and my dream. And it really was amazing to meet other like-minded women and hearing about their reason why they document births and what it means to them. And yeah, this weekend in Berlin with those women was in general so inspiring. And it was the point where I decided I want to go that way. So I felt very connected.
And how did you, if just people listening that be really interested in doing this, how do you find your first kind of,
and then
client?
it was very frustrating when I came home and there was nothing. Like, where would you start,
Yeah, sure.
So what helped was like spread the word, talk about the topic with people, and I talked about it a lot with my neighbor. She was also very interested in that topic, and she actually brought me my first client because she was on the playground and she heard a group of women talking about, like, one woman was pregnant, and they were talking about the pregnancy and the birth, and then she thought, oh, that's the moment for Jen. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna ask them.
That's cool. And that came about just from you talking about it then to your neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Just talk about it and then the word will spread. And she went there to this woman and said, hey, I don't know you. It might be a little bit weird, but what do you think about, have you ever thought about birth photographer? Because my neighbor is interested in this topic as a photographer. And she said, oh yeah, that's interesting. And then this woman called me that day and we met, and we finally, that was in February 2021. And in June, the baby came, and I was at home with them when the baby, I documented their home birth.
Home birth. Wow. Cool. Well, so, and what was that like? Were you nervous? Were you scared? And did you have to be on call then for a certain few weeks, I guess?
Yeah. Fun fact, Alan, that this family was with me on the vacation a few weeks.
Oh, really? As well? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because we got friends, and or we became friends. Also, our husbands liked each other a lot, so it was a perfect match.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was perfect in that sense because I was they lived also close to me, so I did go there with my camera on the bike.
Oh, right.
They
that's
called
handy.
me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I was on call. But actually, before this birth then happened, it was February and June. Yeah, another woman called me. She heard about the birth photography from her midwife. And she called me and she said, I'm in week 39 and like pregnancy week, 39. And I thought about birth photography. Would you like? Could we get in? Can we get to know each other? And I said, yeah, I'm coming. I think she called Friday.
But this was via a midwife. What did you say?
Like her midwife, yeah.
Yeah. How did the midwife know about you and your photography then? Or
she did not know about me, but the midwife came from Berlin and knew a little bit, like had experience with other birth photographers.
Ah, okay, sorry.
That's why she told her. And she called me Friday. We met on Monday, and the baby came on Tuesday.
Wow, gosh, that was your actual first birth.
That was my actual first. Yeah, very spontaneous.
Wow. Yeah, and I guess that as well as being the first birth you photographed, is it the first birth that you witnessed that wasn't your own as well?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Wow, what an experience! So, what was it like that first one though? What was it like? You know, I've never done it. It's something. I mean, it must be amazing. It must be so special.
Yeah, exactly. It's magical, and each birth is magical. And when I'm witnessing it, I'm standing next to them and like in the room. And also after the birth, I asked her, Did you hear me or see me or recognize me? And she said, no, I just felt a room filled with love and empowerment. And oh God, I still have tears in my eyes because it really was like that. We were in a super tiny bathroom. There was just...
Was it a home birth as well? Was it?
Exactly, yeah. It was just the bathtub, a toilet, and it was so hot in there. And we were 5 people in there.
Wow.
And I did not have any like space to move or something. So
that sounds tricky.
Yeah, it was. And then it was the sun did go down at that point, and it got darker and darker and darker. And I really stick to those documentary kind of rules that I don't change anything. And at some point I was so happy that the midwife said she needs some light now.
Oh, cool.
To see the baby. And I'm like, okay, good.
That's good, yeah.
So I really embraced the challenge.
Were you there a long time as well? Was it a long kind of labor?
It was exactly 2 hours. When I arrived, after 2 hours, the baby arrived. Yeah, arrived, was delivered. Yeah.
Wow. And how many then have you done any more after those 2 births? Have you done more?
Yeah, then in that year, then somehow it started rolling kind of. I had 6 in that year then.
Wow, gosh.
Yeah. While this year there was until now only 1. But it's fine because I was very lucky with when you're on call, you know, that one I told you that she called Friday and Tuesday the baby came, so there was not a long phase of being on call. But that's the problem currently I face. Like, I guess I could only take on maybe 4 births in a year.
Yes, and they can't overlap each other in the times of delivery. Yeah,
it would be tricky. And organizing all this with my family is also a big thing.
That must be a tricky side of birth photography.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
You can't give a specific date and a specific time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And have all the ones that you've done so far, have they all been home births, or have you done any in hospitals or
home birth or in the birth center? Yeah.
Okay. Right. Cool.
I would love to take pictures of or document a birth that happens in the hospital, but somehow, of course, with COVID, it's more strict. Even before COVID, my 2 hospitals, for example, didn't allow additional people. So,
sure.
Let's see if at some point I get the chance.
In Germany, in general, are home births and birth centers is that more common than hospital deliveries?
I feel like it's getting more and more. Also, with now that COVID came, that more people wanted to give birth at home.
That makes sense.
But I would say the standard go-to is hospital.
Okay, yeah. similar to UK.
Yeah.
I find it all very interesting, and I wish I had experience myself but I've never done one. I would love to do it. I know I'd be a wreck, emotional wreck during it.
Yeah.
I think it must be so. Oh, I can't even imagine.
And I am, I'm always standing there and have tears in my eyes and thinking, yeah, you're doing a great job. Like inside my mind, I'm thinking and supporting and sending all those positive vibes along.
Oh, yeah, I bet you're great to have in the room. Oh, super. Yeah. Cool. And that leads me on quite nicely, actually, because there are a couple of your specific Reportage Family Awards that I think are just awesome, and I wanted to ask you about. And one of them, I think, it's one of your most recent awards, and it looks to be from a birth session, I think, and it's the one where like the baby, I think, is sleeping on the man's chest, who kind of looks to be sleeping, and someone's capturing it on their phone, and there's a lady's hand on the man's head as well, and it's such a fantastic scene captured there. I love it. Can you tell us more about that shot?
Yeah, I loved it, this birth, because it was also so emotional. It was actually the two women on the image are the one that's taking the picture with her mobile phone is the mom of the mom that just became a mom.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
And the other woman who is has her hands, it's her son.
Oh, so that's so lovely to have both grandmothers, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's super lovely.
And they even wanted to have more people of more members of the family in the room or during the birth, but it was timing wise not possible. But I loved the fact, those two grandmas, how excited they were and like experiencing. It was funny to see, not funny, but so impressive to experience the grandma seeing her daughter giving birth to her grandchild.
That is special.
That was very emotional, and I loved it that they were so open, because I love this community thinking and having people surrounding you during your birth that send positive vibes and support you.
Yeah. Oh, it's magic. Magic to get all those different generations in the instant photo, and the child has just come into life as well, and you've got like 3 generations there. It's
yeah, and those instant feelings when the baby was there, and those grandmothers, they were all over the place.
Oh, really?
It was so. I captured some audio, and it's so lovely. They were so proud.
That's very, very cool. But also, I love the way you, as a photographer, have stepped back and got that whole scene. A lot of photographers maybe would be getting, maybe not getting that whole scene of them all. And I love the way that they all seem connected in that image. And like the new mom is kind of looking at the dad with the child as well. It's all connected. So it's super how you step back and got that whole scene. I think it's it's magic. Such a beautiful image. It's really cool.
Yeah. Going very close and going back to have that whole scene and to have everyone in the frame. Was lucky to have that shot, because it was also so funny to see that the dad, who was so exhausted after that, he almost broke down.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And then of course the mom and her natural feelings to care for her son. There's so much meaning in that picture for me, because of the relationships there and how the birth did go. It's I love it. Cool. Yeah.
Oh, I love it too, and I didn't even know that story behind it. It's just it's magic. I love hearing about images like that. So thank you.
Me as well.
It's really cool. Oh, and just on the other one that I wanted to ask you about is a quite different image, is the Christmas tree one, where both the tree and the child are being like both in the kind of netting that goes around the Christmas trees. You know what I mean?
The netting, yeah.
I love that. It's such a funny shot, and they're being carried by a man. Is that your husband? Is that your child? Or
that's my husband and my child? Yeah. Oh, cool. And
Can you tell us about that one?
Yeah. I love that image as well, or that whole situation it was that day, because we were like picking our Christmas tree, and then at the end, like when we found our Christmas tree, we went to pay for the Christmas tree, and that's the moment where they net it. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And then my daughter said, "Mama, I want to go through this machine as well," and somehow I realized how, like, I instantly said, "No, darling, that's not allowed. It's just for Christmas trees, and it's not a playground or something, you know." But then the reaction from that that guy who did that Christmas tree netting thing, he said, if she wants to, it's okay. Like, you can let her. And I'm like, oh. Then I realized that my reaction was just for him, you know, for the people watching, out of respect, because I don't want my child to use their machines for fun.
Sure.
And then I was so surprised by his reaction, and I instantly took my camera and thought, okay, then let's do this. And she was so happy to go through this thing. And
was she not nervous to have that done to her? No.
Yeah, at first, I guess she was also surprised that this guy said, "Yeah, it's fine, do it."
Yeah.
And then she was like looking to me like, "Really, Mom?" And I said, "Yeah, go for it."
Cool.
It's funny. And then she did go through this machine thing and was all over in this net. And it was just, I've never seen a child walking in this net, and it was just a funny thing to see and to take pictures of. And
that's surreal, really.
She walked there, and then she walked in this net, and she was so, not proud, but she loved it. And then she said, "Oh, Dad, you have to carry me also like the Christmas tree." And she also wanted to have this in the car. And we had to keep it for a week, this net.
Did you?
It was really...
Did she get back into it? And
the next day, but then it got destroyed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that's great. It's such a funny image and such a unique image. I don't think we'll ever see an image like that again. Although maybe people listening to this podcast, they might all decide to do it themselves come Christmas. Were you not tempted to go through the netting machine yourself?
No. I guess I was too big for this opening thing at the end of the thing. I would get stuck, and that might also have been a nice picture then.
Yes, that would have been an award-winning photo as well.
Maybe I can do this with another family.
Yes. A whole series, a whole story award of people in Christmas tree netting. That's funny. Oh, that's cool. Well, thank you, Jennifer, for talking about both those images. And anyone's listening now, do head to this Reportage Family or thisreportage.com. I'll include those two photos so you can see the ones that Jennifer spoke about. That's very cool. So, Jennifer, let's have a bit of a change of tack. And I know you've listened to a few podcast episodes before, so do you watch many movies or TV series?
Usually, yeah. And I found it interesting. I once heard that you talked about someone who said that they cannot watch series, etc., or even podcasts while editing images or something.
Oh, yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I thought, I'm definitely slower when watching something while editing, for sure. But if I have the time, I love watching series.
Okay. That's good. Well, that's good. That's good. Good. So you know what's coming, but I'll just mention it in case people are listening to the first time. So this is just a little fun game. I find it fun anyway, because I'm not the one having to answer the questions. So I'm just going to read a few synopses to Jennifer of either a movie or series, and we're going to see if you can get the title. And hopefully people enjoy playing along at home. So are you ready for your first one, Jennifer?
Oh, not really, but let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so this one this is a movie, and it's very recent, so it's still in some cinemas as a clue. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so the synopsis is after more than 30 years of service as one of the Navy's top fighter pilots, Pete Mitchell is where he belongs, pushing the envelope as a courageous test pilot and dodging the advancement in rank that would ground him.
I only know Top Gun. Top Gun?
It is Top Gun 2. Yes, it's Top Gun 2. Yeah. So we'll give you that. Yes.
Top Gun, Maverick something. Oh,
That's good. You've got that though. Have you seen the original Top Gun?
Yeah. And you know that one song from Top Gun. This.
Or which one? There's
I can't remember, but there's a
Highway to the Danger Zone one. Highway. No, not that one. No.
This as well, yeah. No, but it's a woman singing this.
Oh, the take my breath away.
Oh, yeah, this also.
Yes, that is a cool song.
Watching in slow motion. Also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People just tuned in partway through. What are we listening to?
Yeah.
Oh, but so this is Top Gun 2, which is brilliant, by the way. If you've not seen it yet, it's so good.
You have seen it?
Yes, I went to cinema a few weeks ago. It's brilliant. It's possibly the best sequel. Honestly, it's so good. It's brilliant.
Okay. Let's see.
Well done. You got that one. Okay, let's go on to your second one. Okay, so this is this is an older film. It's a family film. Okay, so a lovable young bear from the jungles of Peru lands in London in search of a new home and soon finds family while settling into city life. It is a bit tricky. It's a movie that's kind of based around little books for children.
I only know. No, I don't know that one.
No, okay, cool. So it's Paddington.
No, I haven't
watched it. British. Oh, it's really good. You know, how old are your kids?
They turn 3 and 5 now.
Oh, okay. So it'd be great for the 5-year-old. I think it's a really nice film. Okay. Yeah, really nice. Okay, so let's go to your third one. This is a harder one. Sorry, this is a harder one.
No, not a harder one.
Yeah, I know. And this is a series. Okay, so this is a series on Netflix, I think. Okay, so. At a grisly murder scene sits a figurine made of chestnuts. From this creepy clue, 2 detectives hunt a killer linked to a politician's missing child.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's quite recent. Well, about a year or 2 old, I think. It's a Danish series.
Yeah, okay. But I think I just know has it to do with a Castanian man or something?
Oh, that sounds right.
It's chestnut.
Yes, that's right.
Or Castania.
That's it. You got it. Boom. The Chestnut Man. Yes, well done.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started watching this, but I did not finish.
Oh, I didn't finish it. Oh, okay. I quite liked it. I thought it was pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. That's really good, Jennifer. 2 out of 3. That's really good.
I love scary movies, actually.
Oh, do you? Yeah, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a favorite all-time movie or favorite all-time series?
Oh yeah, but it's I only know the German word, and it's das Waisenhaus.
What does that translate to?
Yeah, let me check, because this is really scary.
Okay. Is this a series or a movie?
A movie.
Oh, okay.
I watched it in the cinema. Orphanage.
Oh, the Orphanage. Oh, I think I've heard of it. I've not seen it. Is that scary? Yeah.
It's scary. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. Yeah. One of my all-time favorite series is a German language series, actually, which is Dark. Have you seen Dark?
I also started it, but did not finish.
Oh, really?
Series. I said, yeah.
There's so much to watch, isn't there? There's so much to watch, but I
know I could watch all day.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have kids.
Yes, that's true. They take up a bit of time. Yeah. But yeah, Dark. You should go back to Dark, because it's honestly it's one of the best things. 3 seasons. Yeah. It's brilliant. It's so cool. So good.
Yeah, I just watched Working Moms, or binge watched. Yeah.
Ooh, I've not heard of that either.
Working Moms. Oh no, yeah, it's funny.
That series. A series.
Mm-hmm, a series.
Okay. Oh, cool. I'm looking for a new series. We're watching. Other people will laugh probably, but me and my wife, we watch Love Island. Do you have Love Island in Germany?
I think is this like this trash TV stuff?
Yes, it is. It is trash TV, but I like it. It's fun. And my wife likes it. It's. Do you not watch that kind of thing? No.
And sometimes when I feel like I have to really shut down now, turn my brain off, and just watch stuff like this. Yeah. And I sit there and think nothing.
Yeah, that's good. And, it's important to have that time in our lives, I think. Yeah. I quite like reality TV in general. You know, I just like it's funny, interesting watching people just talk, not to a script. I just find that quite interesting.
Totally. And I remember back then do you know Big Brother, when that started?
Yes, gosh, yes. Did you like that?
Really the original, when it really started, and I was a child and I watched it, and I found it so interesting how people interact and how groups, how they build groups, etc., how they act under stress, etc.
100%, exactly the same. I loved the Big Brother for a long time, actually. I think maybe as documentary photographers, that kind of thing of just being interested in other people is probably something that's in all of us. It's a shame Big Brother finished. Love Island's like the best bits of Big Brother because it's like the romance bits of Big Brother. It's cool.
Love Island, that's so funny.
Okay, Jennifer, let's go back to your photography, and you've won as many story awards as you have individuals, which is a proper feat because it's so hard to win a story. Like I think it's 5 stories you've won, and you were the German Storyteller of the Year for 2021. Congrats, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's proper cool. It's proper cool. Do you have, it's quite a big question, I guess, but do you have any thoughts or bits of advice regarding the stories? For example, when choosing images for a story, are there certain things that you're thinking about? Are you just putting your best images in, or are you thinking of the narrative, or are you thinking of variety? How do you approach the stories?
Yeah, variety is a good point. I try to avoid redundancy. Yeah, exactly.
It's important.
So that really each picture has its own story, and that it all adds up then to a big one. Avoiding redundancy, and also, of course, a mix, like as you said, having the variety of being close, showing a scene, a detail.
I think that's so important, isn't it? That's so important.
That makes the story very dynamic and interesting, I think. And for me, the biggest part always so far has been really picking the images, the final images, and then if it's not, for birth stories, I feel like the storyline is almost most of the time clear. So there is the beginning, then you have details, etc., and at the end there are the baby is.
Hello.
Exactly. But I had one story with my daughter and her horse, hobby horse.
Yeah, with the kind of horse head on the stick type thing, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
I love that.
And it's my daughter. That's why it's very hard to take that step back. But I asked Barbara Puchta for help.
Oh, cool.
Because I think she's very super talented in finding out that great storyline, and she had a look at the images and changed a few things and said maybe this picture is better, etc. So that helped me a lot. So that would be also my advice, to take a step back and ask someone else if that makes sense, or
that's great advice.
A missing step, because in my brain, the storyline is filled, like the gaps are filled with my what I remember. But Barbara, for example, then doesn't have this, and she does a great job in putting the pictures in a way together that it makes sense for external people as well.
That's great advice. Yeah, because just like the judges themselves, they won't have that background knowledge either. So so that's really good advice. That's really cool. Really cool. I love that story, by the way. It's really cool.
And when we worked, thank you. And when we worked on this story together with Barbara, and she sent me back her advice, it was so clear to me. Like I looked at it and I said, wow, thank you so much. This is perfect. Like you made me see the story again. And
that's really cool. It's so cool how there's that community there, such friendly, supportive photographers as well, to reach out to and be able to help each other like that. It's really cool, isn't it?
Oh yeah, totally. And it's so necessary and empowering, because I experienced that almost everyone has the same struggles, and it just feels great to talk about it with the other photographers. And in general, I think women should empower each other more, much more.
Oh, that's very cool. Have you ever met Barbara in real life and things? Do you ever meet up with other photographers?
Barbara is like 20 kilometers.
Oh, is that all? Really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
gosh.
That's so cool. Yeah. And I love meeting her because it's always inspiring and funny.
Oh, yeah. I spoke to her on the podcast. She was really fun to talk to.
And yeah, she's kind of mentor for me, which I also think is important to have.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Oh, very cool. Very, very cool. And I wanted to ask you, because we haven't got that much more time left. This has really gone quickly, but so I've got quite a few questions here, specific ones that I want to ask you. So let's got quite a few more. Can you tell? I wonder if you could tell us more about the video on your About Me page, because it's in German and my German is awful. I wasn't able to translate, but I just found it really interesting because it's the video. If people obviously, if people haven't seen it, the video. It's of you looking at the camera it's about 2 minutes, isn't it? But the audio is kind of, it's not you speaking like in the video. It's like you speaking dubbed over, isn't it? It's exactly. Really different. So can you tell us about it? Because it's really different.
Yeah, I saw this this long portrait actually from Anja Pöhlmann. She's also a documentary photographer. I think living in Brighton, based in Brighton,
Okay.
And I saw that she does this series of long portraits, and I instantly, when I saw those long portraits, I thought, oh God, this is so good because it's perfect. I think it's perfect for me to use this as an introduction in my About Me page, because looking at the camera for a few seconds is fine, and you can pretend you're looking a specific way, but after 30 seconds or even a minute, your face starts becoming your true face, and you start relaxing it. Somehow you have to smile, or you have to laugh, or I don't know. And the reason why I choose this is I think when I'm a documentary photographer and I visit people at home at their birth, I wanted to make myself a little bit also, what's the word?
Vulnerable or?
Yeah. Vulnerable. So hard, this word. To really show, let them have a look at my face for, I think the video is going 1 minute and 30 seconds or 2 minutes. So that they really can see my true visuals, like my true face. That was the thinking behind that. And while
I totally understand that.
Yeah, and while I was looking into the camera, I talked about what's important for me and why I do what I do and why I love this. And it's
very cool. It's very, very cool. I should know that. So that's called a long portrait. I didn't know that's what it's called. I think that's a very cool idea. And
credits to Anja Pöhlmann.
Okay. Yeah. She was, I don't know if she's still a member. She was a member of the Reportage family. I don't know if she's but that's a really, really cool. A super idea to have on your About page. As you say, like showing, making you a bit vulnerable, and because that's what your clients need to be when you're photographing them as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they ever mention that to you, that video? Do they ever bring it up?
Oh yeah, from time to time. Yeah. And also the feedback for the video was amazing.
Oh, that's really cool. Did you do many takes? Oh, sorry, go on.
It's so hard to. I took many. I think I have five takes.
Oh, that's not bad.
It was quite spontaneous. I put my camera on a trash bin on the street, and people sometimes were walking by, and I even thought leaving this in that shot. But of course, as a tip, you have to choose a spot where the light is not the weather has to be consistent, because I had the situation that there was a cloud coming to in front of the sun, and then there was a lot of suddenly shadow, and my settings in the camera weren't fitting anymore. Okay. So this should be consistent, but now I lost my thread, I think.
That's good. I just think it's very cool. So people should check out Jennifer's About page on that video. I think it's really, really cool. It's really cool. Have you shared that on Instagram, or is it just on your website?
Yeah, no,
Okay,
it should be also somewhere on my Instagram account.
That's cool. And it's funny, a nice little segue to Instagram, because I wanted to ask you specifically, or mention to you that I really enjoyed looking at some of your reels, by the way. It was very very funny, and they show really great personality. I think it's really cool. And that stabbing of the orange is serious skills. That was skills.
It was actually
did you do many takes of that?
I think 5. And I started with a knife, and then the knife got into the apple and out, and then I lost the apple. It was stupid. And it's also in German we say Hassliebe with those reels. Like, I hate it and I love it somehow. I find it funny. It's fun for me to do those reels, but at the same time, it's sometimes a little bit cringe. Cringe. I don't know. It's a really. Like I'm too old for.
Well, no, of course not. And it's Instagram is very reel heavy these days, so it's great that you're making the most of that medium. I know a lot of people don't like it, but you're making the most of the medium there, and you're showing your personality, which is super. It's really cool. Do you know? Have clients mentioned the reels themselves? Do you think it is helping you get more business, or just more kind of awareness, or showing off your human side more?
Yeah, I think the whole platform, Instagram, I personally use for personal branding. I think that's why that's the part I love about Instagram, because I can write texts where people can read my personality somehow. I can share those reels. They can see what's my kind of humor. And so also those reels help just show me to my clients, so that they can see, is that really the person I want to have in my room while I give birth?
Just don't give her a fork. Don't give her a fork. Keep her away from the fruit bowl.
Oh no. Yeah, but I try hard on my Instagram account to make me more visible, even though I don't feel comfortable doing this. That's why.
It's great you push yourself out of that comfort zone and do that.
I think I have to, yeah.
Well, honestly, I think really respect to you for that, because I don't do that. I don't use Instagram to its full potential to show the kind of personal side. I really don't. I'm like probably too many photographers. I just use it for photos, and it's not good enough. It's not. So I need to do that. I need to do it. I just
yeah. I think if it's not your thing to do, then nobody should be forced to do it. And just because Instagram has those reels now, don't feel forced to do it. But I just do those where I think it's fun and it fits to me, and it's fine for me, and it makes sense.
Yeah, and I see they get thousands of views as well. I mean, look, I think one of yours had like over 5,000 views.
Oh, really cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's proper cool though. That's great reach. This is very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, people listening, do check out Jennifer's reels as well, because they're very funny. They're very cool. On a personal note, I read that you're terrified of spiders and other insects, but you don't want to pass on the fear to your kids, so you feign excessive joy when you see them.
Yeah, exactly.
That is good parenting.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that, but it's really exhausting. Yeah, but we have a quite a big garden, and there are so many spiders, and then they're like, "Mom, look, there's a spider," and my initial reaction would be like freaking out and run away. But then I'm like staying. I say, "Okay, take a deep breath. Oh wow, show me that spider. Look, it has a great color." Something like that. And then she's like, "Mom, can you touch it?" I'm like, "Oh no." They don't want to be touched. Something like this. I don't know.
Oh, that is super good parenting. That is
because I think as soon as they see your panic, they totally copy it. And
yes, it is true. What we do to our children without even realizing it is kind of scary in that way.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of spiders as well. I remember as a kid, before going to sleep, I would always do a manual check of each corner of the ceiling to see if there was a spider, and I just call for my mom if there was a spider, and she'd come in.
Yeah, I still do that at night when I go to bed. I turn on the iPhone light and check out all the walls and the ceiling, like, and then I'm like, okay, now I can go to sleep.
Really, that's awesome. You still do. I love that. That's so
yeah.
Wow, you really don't like them. You really don't like them, do you? No. Yeah. They are. Oh, yeah. I don't like them either. Though. I know. Have you seen? I've never watched the film, but Arachnophobia, the movie.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, nor me.
I mean, I love scary movies, but not
that one. No.
No.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Cool. My daughter, who's 10, like a couple of years ago, she went to a little birthday party and she held a tarantula. She was cool doing that. Yeah, that's cool.
What birthday party was that?
I know. Yeah. They had like a scorpion and a tarantula. It's a bit different, isn't it? I know.
Like at home, like they had.
Yeah, they brought it to these people. Yeah, took these animals to these person's home where the party was. Yeah. For
the party, like. Here,
I know.
Tarantula.
Yeah, I know. Not my idea of a good birthday party.
Wow, crazy! So. Wow. Okay. I mean, I guess if someone brought me a tarantula and said, "You can take this on your hand," and I guess I would do it.
But, would you really? Yeah. Even if your kids weren't there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because somehow I trust then those people. They have to take care that I don't die. You know, so I trust them giving me the spider that nothing happens.
Well, they might give you a disclaimer to sign first that says it's not their responsibility if you get poisoned.
Then not. No.
Yeah. Then. Not.
I had this. I love. That's my favorite image of like the most funny picture of me when I was in Thailand with my husband and we did this jungle tour, and I had to go to this toilet hut. And I did go there. It was quite tiny. And then suddenly I saw on the other wall, again, like on my opposite side, this spider that was as big as a plate, really. Oh, I have this picture and I said, Tim, who was my husband, I said, here's a spider. How can I leave this hut? I cannot do this. And he's like, I guess it's not that big. And then he saw that spider and he said, oh shit, okay. Don't move too fast, etc. And then we had to take this one shot where my head is next to the spider to see how big it was.
The size, the scale. Yeah, wow, it was really as big as
incredible.
A plate. Oh man.
Yeah. And I'm not
exaggerating.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, honestly, it's making my palms sweat a bit. Talking about spiders, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I wonder if there's people listening who are really arachnophobic that can't even listen to us.
Oh no!
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I enjoyed that though. That was cool. Jennifer, I've got time just for one more question. I think I've really enjoyed talking to you. It's been so much fun.
Me as well.
It's just flown by. So, okay, let's just do, an advice one. Okay, so, Jennifer, again, people would love to hear from you about this. So, what would be your top tips or just your thoughts to help someone become better at the documentary side of family photography? Yeah, so any kind of thoughts and bits of advice, just getting better at documenting families.
I think... shooting.
So true.
Just do it. Go out there in the field and take pictures and get yourself a mentor or someone who has more experience than you.
Has that been a really important thing for you? Yeah, it does sound really good.
Yeah, I mean, because when I started, it was the best. I did this class also with Barbara Puchter and Julia Rosegreim.
Yeah, cool.
And it was eye-opening for me, the information they gave me about when is a picture working for not only for the family, but also for external people looking at my picture. Does my picture tell a story, etc.? Because when I take a picture of a baby and I show it to the family, most of the time they're like, oh, cute, because it's our baby, etc. Mm-hmm. But is the picture really working also for the external viewers? And when is the picture working and when is it not working? I found that very helpful, and it made my photography much, much better. Like
that's cool.
My learning curve was great.
That's great.
So that would be my advice.
Yeah, that's all great advice. That's really, really cool. Oh, cool, Jennifer. Honestly, my palms are still sweating actually from the spider stuff. But apart from that,
I'm also going to check my my flat now.
Yes, do it all around. I am looking in the corners of this room actually. But honestly, I so enjoyed talking to you there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I could talk for another hour actually.
Yeah, we really could do that. Oh, it was so fun, and you're just so easy to talk to. Loved it.
Oh, really, really thank you. People told me drink a prosecco up front, but maybe I do it now afterwards.
Yes, celebrate, getting through it. That is cool.
And thanks for inviting me, Alan.
Oh,
really.
Thanks. No,
I love the work that you do for this genre of the documentary photography. Really,
thank you. Well, thank you for being such an important part of it, and thank you for saying yes to talking to me on the podcast as well. So I know it's a scary thing having to talk.
Yeah, it is.
So,
yeah.
And anyone listening now, do head to thisreportage.com or thisreportagefamily.com, and I'll include those 2 awards that Jennifer spoke about, a link to your website as well. And hopefully I'll get to meet you one day. Do you ever come over to England?
I would love to. I also had friends there, so it's on my list.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I would love that. And I'd love to take my family, because my kids have never been to Germany. I'd love to come over again. So, yeah, be awesome. I should do a meetup in Germany. That would be really fun.
Yes, please.
Awesome. Well, Jennifer, you enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me, Alan.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the 115th episode of the This Is Reportage podcast. So fab to talk to Jennifer. Hope you enjoyed it too. Head to thisreportagefamily.com or thisreportage.com for a link to her website, where you should really check out her long portrait video on her About Me page, and to see the couple of Reportage Family Awards you spoke about too. We now have 115 episodes of the podcast available, where we speak to wedding and family photographers from all over the world. If you like this episode, delve into our back catalogue for lots more. If you're not a member of this Reportage or this Reportage family, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 individual award and 18 story award entries per year, invites to our physical meetups and parties, exclusive discounts, hours of educational videos featuring tips and advice from some of the world's best photographers, and much more too. There's just a few days left to submit to our next award collections. The deadline is the same for both our wedding site and our family site. Submit by 23:59 BST on the 24th of July 2022. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.